Hello, it's me again, back with the rest of the overview of Daniel. So we're going to be doing Daniel 11 and 12 in this segment. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And I will be reading it to you, and then we'll expound on it a little bit. Okay, also in the first year of Darius the Mede, even I stood to confirm and to strengthen him. And now will I show thee the truth. Behold, there shall stand up yet 3 kings in Persia, and the fourth shall be far richer than they all. And by his strength, through his riches, he shall stir up all against the realm of Grecia. And a mighty king shall stand up, that shall rule with great dominion, and do according to his will. So do whatever he wants to do. And when he shall stand up, his kingdom shall be broken, and shall be divided toward the 4 winds of heaven, and not to his posterity. So not to anyone else that's in him, according to the dominion which he ruled. For his kingdom shall be plucked up, even for others beside those. And the king of the south shall be strong, and one of his princes, and he shall be strong above him, and have dominion. His dominion shall be a great dominion, and in the end of years they shall join themselves together. For the king's daughter of the south shall come to the king of the north to make an agreement, but she shall not retain the power of the arm, neither shall he stand, nor his arm, but she shall be given up. And they that brought her, and he that begat her, and he that strengtheneth her in these times, but out of a branch of her roots shall one stand up in his estate, which shall come with an army, and shall enter into the fortress of the king of the north, and shall deal against them, and shall prevail. And shall also carry captive into Egypt their gods, with their princes, and with their precious vessels of silver and of gold. And he shall continue more years than the king of the north. So the king of the south shall come into his kingdom, and shall return into his own land. But his son shall be stirred up, and shall assemble a multitude of great forces, and one shall certainly come, and overflow, and pass through. Then shall he return, and be stirred up, even to his fortress. And the king of the south shall be moved with choler, and shall come forth and fight with him, even with the king of the north, and shall set forth a great multitude. But the multitude shall be given into his hand, and when he hath taken away the multitude, his heart shall be lifted up, and he shall cast down many 10,000s, but he shall not be strengthened by it. For the king of the north shall return, and shall set forth a multitude greater than the former, and shall certainly come after certain years with a great army, and with much riches. And in those times there shall many stand up against the king of the south. Also robbers of thy people shall exalt themselves to establish the vision, but they shall fall. So the king of the north shall come, and cast up a mount, and take the most fenced city, and the arms of the south shall not withstand, neither his chosen people. Neither shall there be any strength to withstand. But he that cometh against him shall do according to his own will, and none shall stand before him. And he shall stand in the glorious land, which by his hand shall be consumed. He shall also set his face to enter with the strength of his whole kingdom, and upright ones with him. Thus shall he do. And he shall give him the daughter of women, corrupting her, but shall not stand on his side, neither before him. After this shall he turn his face unto the isles, and shall take many, but a prince from his own behalf shall cause the reproach offering by him to cease without his own reproach. He shall cause it to turn upon himself. Then he shall turn his face toward the fort of his own land, but he shall stumble and fall, and not be found. Then shall stand up in his estate a raiser of taxes in the glory of the kingdom. But within few days he shall be destroyed, neither in anger nor in battle. And in his estate shall stand up a vile person, to whom they shall not give the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in peaceably, and obtain the kingdom by flattery. And with the arms of a flood shall they be overthrown from before him, and shall be broken, yea, also the prince of the covenant. And after the league made with him, he shall work deceitfully, for he shall come up, and shall become strong with a small people. He shall enter peaceably, even upon the fattest places of the province, and he shall do that which his father had not done, nor his father's father. He shall scatter among them the prey and spoil and riches. Yea, he shall forecast his devices against the stronghold, even for a time. And he shall stir up his power and his courage against the king of the south with a great army. And the king of the south shall be stirred up to battle with a very great and mighty army. But he shall not stand, for they shall forecast devices against him. Yea, they that feed of the portion of his meat shall destroy him. And his army shall overflow, and many shall fall slain. And both these kings' hearts shall be to do mischief. They shall speak lies at one table, but it shall not prosper. For yet the end shall be at the time appointed. Then shall he return into his land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant. And he shall do exploits and return to his own land. At the time of the appointed he shall return and come toward the south, but it shall not be as the former or as the latter. For the ships of Chittim shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return, and have indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return, and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant. And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice, and they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate, and such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. And they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flames, by captivity, and by spoil many days. And now when they shall fall, they shall be holpen with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries, and some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them and to purge and to make them white, even to the time of the end. But it is yet for a time appointed. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation he accomplished, for that is determined shall to be done. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers knew not shall he honor with gold and silver, and with precious stones, and pleasant things. Thus shall he do in the most strongholds with a strange God, whom he shall acknowledge and increase with glory. And he shall cause them to rule over many, and shall divide the land for gain. And at the time of the end shall the king of the south push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots and with horsemen and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass over. He shall enter also into the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. But these shall escape out of his hand, even Edom and Moab, and the chief of the children of Ammon. He shall stretch forth his hand also upon the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. But he shall have power over the treasures of gold, and over silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt. And the Libyans and the Ethiopians shall be at his steps. But tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him. Therefore he shall go forth with great fury, and destroy and utterly make away many. And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mount. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall hold him. Now let's go into chapter 12. This one is expressly speaking of end times, so pay close attention. At the time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Which book? The book of life. When is this going to happen? At the end. Troubling times that we've never seen before in our life. Okay? Verse 2. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awaken, some to everlasting life, and some to everlasting shame, punishment, and contempt. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Talking about kind of what we're going to get for those of us that do the work of the Lord. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. I know so many that heap to themselves so much learning, but are completely ignorant. The word tells us forever learning and never perceiving the truth. That's in 2 Timothy 3:7. Let me also read to you in 2 Timothy 3:1-5. It says, This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. That's what we just read. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. I know thousands of churches that claim Christ, but deny the power thereof. Hosea 4:6 says, My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. And a lot of people stop right there. Why are they destroyed for the lack of knowledge? Because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing that thou hast forgotten the law of thy God. I will also forget thy children. They were destroyed for a lack of knowledge because they didn't want it. Verse 5, then Daniel looked, and behold, there stood over two, the one to one side of the bank of the river, and the other on the other side of the bank of the river. And one said to the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, how long shall it be to the end of the wonders? And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he held up his right hand and his left hand unto heavens, and swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time, times and half, and when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished. And I heard, but I understood not. Then I said, O Lord, what shall be the end of these things? And he said, go thy way, Daniel. For the words are closed up and sealed to the time of the end. Many shall be purified and made white and tried. But the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand. And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,290 days. Blessed is he that waiteth, and cometh to the 1,330 days. But go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days. All right, my beloved brothers and sisters, back to that one little scripture in Hosea. Make close note of that. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. A lot of people like to say that, but they don't go on to the rest of it. Why were they destroyed for the lack of knowledge? It wasn't because knowledge wasn't available. It's because they're running to and fro trying to gather knowledge, but never obtaining the truth. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge because thou hast rejected knowledge. So it's not that the information wasn't available. They refused to receive it. I mean, we have people that are being destroyed for a lack of knowledge right now. And this is going to touch on some people's toes, and so be it. But some of the people are being destroyed by a lack of knowledge right now because they're listening to these liars that try to tell them that they can be whatever they want to be. They can be an animal. They can be a male if they're a female, or a female if they're a male. And they, get all wrapped up in this, and they get people to try to agree with this. But I'm telling you, this is insane. And there are thousands of people who have gone through these sex change operations or augmentation to make them look more like animals. And they're having to take these drugs for their whole life. And they're so miserable. Why didn't anybody tell me? Okay, so when a female or male goes in for this surgery, nobody tells them that they have to be taking the estrogen or the testosterone for the rest of their life. Why didn't anybody tell me about the pain that I would have? Why didn't anybody tell me that I would be in constant pain for the rest of my life? Why didn't anybody tell me this? Because that's not what the agenda is, okay? You can look up these videos on YouTube of people who've had these changes done to them, and they didn't know that there would be such cost associated with it. Many women didn't know when they get that complete hysterectomy and have an appendage stuck on them, so that way they can have a penis now, which isn't really a penis. It's, fake stuff. down there with a plastic tube trying to get them to simulate it, that now my bones are fragile. I broke a hip. Why do I have osteoporosis and I'm only 30 years old? There's all kinds of stuff. And my heart aches for them. It just really, really does. Because even if they try to reverse this stuff and go back to the way they were designed, they never can. Because it was such a traumatic experience for the body that it can't be done. Now, can God heal it? Oh, you better believe He can. But my heart aches for these people. People that are allowing their children to have augmentation done so they can be an animal. You're not an animal. Forever learning and never perceiving the truth. It's all a lie. They believe in lies. And they're condemned because of lies. And they're miserable because of the lies. My heart aches for them, poor people. So deceived, so deceived. Well, until next time, my beloved brothers and sisters, I love you, and I will talk to you later.